Hey, Dostie here with another Dostie's View, and today I wanted to talk about something that a lot of you probably consider to be unrequired equipment, but I'm here to tell you that's not really true. And what I'm talking about is knee pads, and I know it becomes kind of a source of ridicule from your locked heel friends that you got to wear knee pads. Well, honestly, they should too, but it's really a lot more important with telemarking because, of course, you're dropping a knee and your knee is getting close to the ground. And I guarantee you that, 95% of the time you do not need knee pads, all right? But it's not a matter of if you will someday knock your knee on the ground or your ski or a rock or a branch that's hiding underneath the surface of some nice deep pow. It's a matter of when. and I'll just relate a personal experience. This was several years ago when I was in Tahoe, and it was an early season snow, so there was not a real solid base of Sierra cement, the wonderful spackle that comes in early season that has come in this year. So at least at the higher elevations, like Mammoth is open, and that's because they got 3 feet of spackle. And so a lot of it is still there because it doesn't need to pack down, it already comes in packed. But on this particular day, we didn't really get a good spackle coating for the first storm of the season, but we got a good 2.5 to, about a 2 foot dump. And so it was my belief at the time that that was enough snow. And even though I'd already converted to plastic boots, because it was early season, because we were just going to go low angle, I wanted to go really light, and so I brought my leather boots. And I brought my knee pads in my pack. But as we headed out, I was like, I don't need to put the knee pads on. I'll deal with that later. And when it came time to go down, it was so mellow that I was like, nothing's gonna happen, okay? So I don't need my knee pads on. But I made one turn where I dropped really deep, and just to, to make sure I was experiencing knee-deep pow. And my knee connected with a rock that was buried beneath the surface, just above my kneecap. And man, I had a knot in my knee for 2 seasons. And I had to limp out. And the most insulting thing of that whole experience was that I had my knee pads with me and I knew to use them, but I didn't. So that's just one example of not if, but when. So since then, it's for me just part of my what I wear all the time. And to make sure I wear them, I always carry them in my boot bag. They're with my boots. When I go to put my boots on, I put on my knee pads. Now, the question is, what kind of knee pads should you get? Well, any knee pad is better than no knee pad. In fact, I'm wearing some Carhartt pants here, and they've got this front pocket where you can buy some Carhartt knee pads. In fact, it's really kind of a bummer. I think Carhartt should make ski pants, except that they're not attuned to the things that we're looking for as skiers. But the fact that they have a pocket for a knee pad is really awesome. And I find it's very useful, just day-to-day use. There's a lot of times I want to kneel down, but I ordinarily would be afraid to kneel down because it's a hard surface, it would hurt my knees. But with these pants and with the knee pads already in there, I don't have any concerns about kneeling at any time. In fact, that's another really good reason to get knee pads. Maybe it isn't so much that you're going to smash your knee, But a lot of times when you're out in the wilderness, in snow, backcountry skiing, for instance, but even at a resort, there's a need to get down on your knees to maybe adjust something, fiddle with your binding, whatever it is. But if you don't have knee pads, you're going to be reluctant to do that because you don't want to kneel down in the cold snow. But with knee pads, you got insulation, you have protection, it's no big deal. So then the question is, what knee pads to get? And like I said, just get knee pads. Any old knee pad is better than no knee pad. In fact, there's tons of them available at the hardware store for super cheap, but I would recommend getting more specialized knee pads. One of the ones that I like, but I don't use very often, is just simple functional reasons in terms of putting them on. I like these G-form knee pads that slide over your leg, and it's elastic material, and breathes pretty well, and it fits over your knee, and it stays and hugs your knee really well, keeps them warm, and protects them. This is kind of a soft plastic, except when you hit it hard, it acts like it's a solid piece of plastic, but if you just kneel on it, it acts softer. The only thing I don't like about these, honestly, two things. Over time, on a long day, this material that's behind your knee, at the back of your knee, tends to itch a little. The other thing is, you want to put them on next to skin, and then you're probably going to want to put on long johns, but that doesn't really work very well. And so if you're going to use something like this, probably it would be on a warm day where you're wearing long boxers and long ski socks that go up to the knee, and this provides all the insulation and protection you need for your knee. Personally, I prefer Black Diamond's Telekinesis knee pads. It's a hard plastic shell. There's some padding underneath that's probably similar to this G-form foam. But what makes these work well, and I think this is the thing you want to look for, because let's see, Volet makes them, and Arc'teryx makes them. And what makes these work well, one, they're articulated above and below the kneecap, but you want a solid webbing strap below the knee, because if it's elastic, and some of them are elastic on the bottom, it's possible for the knee pad to work its way down your leg because the elastic will stretch. But with a solid piece of webbing on the bottom, the bulge in your calf will prevent the knee pad from working down your leg. And then elastic on the top side, because you're flexing your quad muscles and that's expanding and contracting, and so you need to have something that will adapt to that. I think that's pretty much it. Just remember, it's not a matter, I'm going to keep repeating this, it's not a matter of if you're going to bang your knee, it's a matter of when. And knee pads, they range from $5 at the hardware store for some cheapies that maybe are not very appropriate, but they're better than nothing, versus the cost of a new knee or knee surgery. I know plenty of people who have cracked their knee cap, and you know, that was a lot more expensive than even a $100 pair of knee pads. So that's my tip for today. Look forward to seeing your comments on this, because I'm sure many of you have lots of testimonials for or against knee pads. And if you're against them, well, like I said, it's only a matter of time until you knock your knees too, all right? So protect them. The season has begun. Not a whole lot of resorts are open, but some are. So I hope you can get out there, make some turns on this holiday weekend, and help spread Tell.